Important message to any sister who's watching this video, any woman, or if you're a man, you can tell your woman this. Open your fucking voice, open your throat, let your throat, your sound come out, because as I just did that, I felt connected to my yoni, to my sex. And it is not a sexual thing, it is a super important health thing. It is healthy for us to be opening up our throat and using our sound, letting it come out, even if it's ugly, even if it's not pleasant, even if it's not pretty. Let that shit happen, let it flow through, because it actually connects us to our bodies and to our pussy. And as women, it's not about connecting to our pussy and our yoni to be sexual or anything. It's actually for a place of health and self-connection and deeper self-intimacy. And pussy is actually power. Our pussy is powerful. And when we're connected to it and when we feel her, we can move from a more grounded, powerful place and from a more alive, turned on space. And yeah, I got my eyes closed because I'm just here and doing what feels good for me. So if you want, I invite you to do more sounding with me now, because this fucking video is about connecting to our heart space. So I'm going to do it again. And it's not even about connecting to just our heart space. It's about connecting intimately with self through the power of sound. I want to thank this brother named Joseph Valin. He's a beautiful brother who recently did a 3-day voice activation challenge, and he was sharing his own journey with awakening his own voice. And some of these things, this practice that I'm going to do now, which is very simple, we can do it any time that we want, and I invite you to do it with me now, is just the practice of breathing, using our breath to open and to expand, and then to exhale and let a sound come out. And sometimes that sound can be communicating what we feel, or it can be, making a sound from a part in our body that hurts or that feels blocked. So I invite you to do the same with me now, to do this with me. Not just watch me, but practice. Open up your own throat and let yourself experience the feeling and the power of your own voice, or just be open to whatever reveals itself through doing this with me. So let's do 3 more. I'm going to do that for myself. So you do it too for yourself, please. All right. I do have some fears at times of being seen in my heart. I do have a fear at times of having my heart be hurt. I notice there's a part of me that protects my own heart. And some of the sounds I was making just now was coming from my heart space. This experience of being seen or felt or even sharing from my true genuine heart and being in my truth from my heart and from my whole being is scary for me and for a part of me. And I'm here today to say that I've had this story and I've had this feeling of being scared and afraid. And instead of just feeling the feeling of being scared and afraid, instead of just letting that be there and then acting anyways, I've literally made up a story connected. I've had a story attached to this feeling of being scared and afraid, and the story has been, do not be yourself in love. Fool, don't be yourself fully with any man, because he will only ever leave, and it's not worth it. That's been the painful story attached to the fear and the feeling of being scared. Or like, yeah, I gotta manage how I'm being and showing up, even if I really like someone. Even if I really feel a yes to someone, I need to actually manage myself, and I can't just be in that full joy and ecstasy, because there's this fear, which is like an inner protective part of me that's scared that if I do that, I might get hurt like I got hurt in the past. So this is where stories added on to the feeling of fear or being scared are so not helpful, because as long as I keep the story, I'm going to keep looping in the same exact reality over and over and over again, and there will be a constant lid on what I can actually expand myself into and live in. And so the answer is actually to breathe and be and meet and feel and lean into the fear and the feeling of being scared, not get frozen by it, definitely not get frozen by it, but to actually see it as a portal and a doorway for deeper love, for deeper groundedness, for deeper actual arriving and being here. But sometimes, what does that take? It takes moving in a way and being in a way that's outside of my patterns, of that pattern. Because the pattern has been feel fear, feel scared, and then run the story, the looping of the same story. And that story, if I'm caught up and hijacked by it, I feel frozen, and then I just say, forget about it, stop everything. I'm gonna pull back. I'm not gonna continue this. I'm gonna just go back to the same place I've always been, keep myself safe, keep myself in this protective place, because I don't want to expand further, because it's dangerous, because of this story that it's blocking. It's the lid. The story attached to the fear or the feeling of being scared is the lid. But if I just let go and release that story, erase it, pew, then there's just the pure raw feeling of a sensation in the body that gets labeled as fear, or a feeling of being, or another sensation in the body that gets labeled as being scared. And I can actually just connect in my body, through my body, to that feeling in my body that gets labeled fear. Oh my goodness, it is actually also deep love and excitement. Yet the mind quickly labels it as fear, because the mind survives and can keep looping from fear if it labels it correctly as love or as truth. It might not be able to continue running its pattern and loop. The familiar self wants to stay safe and protected. It doesn't want to expand. It wants to stay the same. And what's important is opening up, okay? If you feel frozen, if anyone feels frozen and stuck, or scared, what a friend recently told me, he's like, don't wait till you don't feel scared anymore. Don't wait till you don't feel afraid anymore. You do it just even with that. You feel the fear and you act. You feel the scared feeling and you go for it. And you don't wait till all of that is gone, because it might not ever be gone. So the important thing is to move and be and act in a way that's outside of this pattern and this loop of this story. Because that's not who I am. That's not who you are if you have something similar. And one of the easy ways to do that is actually through sound, funny enough. It's such a simple tool, yet it's so effective. And it might look really silly and crazy, and people might say, you're just trying to be cool or get attention, but no, it's like breath, sound, and movement is actually a way that we might look a little crazy, right? But we're actually stepping outside of the pattern of the prison. And sometimes we need to act and look and be really fucking fully alive. And I know that's a threat to the operating system that wants to stay the same and that wants to keep the lid on, because the lid, and if we stay within this lid, we're going to be safe. But you know what happens inside of being blocked in by that lid? Fucking flatline, nothing. And it's just suffering. I have the power to remove the lid through having the courage to be fully alive and step out of normal ways of being, and instead be natural. Normal ways of being are not necessarily natural. What are normal ways of being? Sometimes normal ways of being is when we feel a lot, right? And instead of being with it and opening to it and being present with ourselves, we reach for our phones to scroll on social media, or we go to food and eat a bunch of food, or we watch shows, or we work a job that we fucking hate. You know, normal ways of behavior sometimes involve a lot of escaping ourselves and distracting ourselves from fully being with what's really the fucking truth and what is a matter of our heart, what feels true in our heart. And what is true in the heart sometimes is very radical and powerful, and sometimes it scares the living shit out of some part of us. But if it's not scaring us a little bit, if it doesn't feel just a little bit risky, what is even the point? And I know that we've all, as humans, have gotten so used to being less alive, less here, and instead we're somewhere over there in some mental thing, consuming content and just completely dismissing the beauty and the gift and the magic of being fully alive and having this gift of being blessed to be here in this time now. And so it's like, yeah, the heart and the soul and spirit really wants to live through us. And sometimes that takes, acting in ways that are different than what we think. Sometimes that looks like doing something completely outrageous. Like going into town and having a public speech on the street in front of all the people, talking about a matter of my heart, speaking about something that is true to me, and doing that because I want to break the matrix of, for example, the matrix here where I am right now, here in Sweden. The matrix that I'm in is be kind of contained, be kind of small, play in, fit into the roles. And I'm not saying I need to like be big and make a bunch of noise and talk really loud in public, as if that's the only way to access my heart. But the thing is that sometimes we need to be a glitch in the matrix. We need to break the fucking matrix and show life that, yes, I'm not going to be imprisoned by this. When I'm in the societies at times, I see a certain matrix that's there, and we can either live in it and be pulled into it and be a zombie in that matrix, be asleep, or we can step outside of it by speaking and being true to our heart and actually letting our voice speak to that which we value and that which feels important to bring into a space. And people in Sweden, in this town that I'm in, might laugh at me. They might make fun of me. They might think that I'm completely crazy or just be like, who does she think she is? But maybe, just maybe, I don't think that I'm anything. Maybe, just maybe, I know that I'm absolutely nothing and everything. And maybe, just maybe, there's a message that wants to come through that is really a message of freedom and of liberation from being chained by invisible chains. Programming, conditioning of how we need to be safe. The programming and conditioning that we received through childhood, through the lived experiences that we had of, oh, this is what happened, so now I'm a prisoner to this, what happened. So what happened, and now I'm going to be a prisoner to what I made what happened mean, versus just accepting that happened, but I don't need to be caught up and a prisoner to what I made what happened to me mean about life and love and reality. Because there is truly what happened. I'm not denying that we've all had experiences in our lives that told us we're not safe to be ourselves. We're not safe to be fully expressed. Yet, there's also right now, at this time, where the world is asking for people that are willing to step out of the prison. Because if one person steps out of the matrix, it encourages others to do the same. So a matter of the heart, that is where it's at, because the heart is my superpower. Speaking to, giving voice to matters of the heart. You know, here where I live in Sweden, or where I'm visiting right now, I'm here for like 3 months, there's a lot of energies that are feeling very like programmed, and they don't feel true and genuine, such as sisters and women competing with each other, everyone thinking we need to look so good, we need to be so attractive and pretty, women especially thinking that the only thing that's important is how I look, and if I'm not leaving the house with makeup, like I can't do that. It's like there's a lot of women here that put so much makeup on and put on these types of clothing that they think will be the thing that makes someone like them, or that they'll be accepted. When really underneath, I see a wild woman, I see a free being, I see someone that wants to just dance and be naked in the forest and fucking be blessed by the ocean and all of these things. I see innocence and wildness, and I want to reclaim that in this society. I do not want to submit to this matrix that says, be small, don't express, don't talk too much, because here in Sweden too, there's this energy of like, who do you think you are? Don't talk. It's like they want to make you feel smaller. I mean, this is obviously maybe just my own projection, obviously, and I'm using it as an excuse to get big, and to just really not even get big, to just be natural, to just be really supernatural and in my own true essence, and really don't let anything stop me from being in my natural essence. So, yeah, dropping into my heart and letting myself feel what's there, even if it's sometimes it feels crunchy and icky and unclear and confusing maybe, or scary or tender, uncomfortable even. It's still a great medicine, and it's important. And it's even more powerful to be seen, heard, and felt in the matters of the heart. So I'm curious, like, what is something in your heart that you Is there anything that you have been feeling that you would feel would be supportive to feel seen, heard, or felt in? Do you even think that you would benefit from being able to share your heart and even be seen and witnessed in your unique sound as you're connecting to yourself? There's something powerful about letting yourself be witnessed by loving eyes, where you, before you even start speaking what's alive in your heart, you can express it and show it through your body. And it might not be big, it might not be loud, and that's okay. It doesn't have to look any specific way, but it's powerful. The space that I choose to create and that I am creating, the Zoom gathering that I'm creating, is a space where we slow down enough. And where we actually enjoy and practice being in the space between the words, so that we can really drop into being with ourselves as we're being with another. So much of society and what happens in relating is that we leave ourselves, we abandon ourselves to be with others. And that's really unfortunate. Even when I make these videos, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, I don't even feel myself at times because I'm getting distracted by the people who are on the thing, you know? And like, who's watching me? You're 4 people right now, or 5 people. Give this video a thumbs up if you're watching. Give this video a like if you're watching. It would inspire me to make more live videos if people who actually watch the live give it a like. It's scary to be seen, and most people on social media and on these platforms don't actually allow themselves to be fully seen. Instead, we're making content that's very like hiding who we really are, what's really real, what's really under the surface. So that's why I'm gonna start creating this space. Oh, good. Thank you so much for that, for the dislike. So either you like or you dislike. They're both awesome, you know? Praises or critique, they're both just the same energy. So not a big deal. Thank you. I guess I just really want to be with you who actually resonates in a space that matters to me. And it might not be loud, it might not be entertaining or super stimulating, but it will be real. And we will feel our own hearts together. It's a space for you who has the capacity to slow down and feel your heart and communicate from there. For you who wants to be in a space of tenderness or vulnerability with other humans that's beyond just this social media way of relating. If you are someone that's interested in being in a Zoom gathering like that with me, actually being together, being beyond the masks of this, because it's so easy to talk shit, it's so easy to diss and be disrespectful on these platforms, right? Because we're all hiding behind a name, we're all behind a screen. If we were in person right now, I wonder if people would be in the same energy as they are when they're behind the screen. It's easy to be, in that way when you're behind a screen. And it's like, I wonder too, you know, I wonder why people show up online and are negative. Why? Why do people show up? Because they're hurting, because their heart is hurting. Any reason why anyone would ever spew hatred is because the heart is hurting. but no one is willing to go into the heart because that's the scariest thing. People think that they appear cool and tough when they're being rude and dissing and making comments. They think that they're powerful. Really, unfortunately, what I see is just someone that's very weak and hurting. And not saying that in a mean way, but all I know is that whenever I'm dissing and being mean or making comments that aren't even really communicating, like underneath that, there's so much said. It's basically saying, I'm hurting. I feel disconnected from myself and from my heart. And it's okay. It's okay. So please don't call anybody a loser, but go ahead, go call someone a loser. It's like, the truth is, we all need to also be a lot less sensitive. Like, no, I mean, I love being sensitive. What I'm saying is that if there's an energy of someone calling you names and things, or calling you a loser, or saying whatever, something mean, just, if you can feel your heart in that moment, you would be able to feel them and actually feel how they're hurting in that moment. And so you will not take their comments personally, because you actually feel like, holy moly, they're hurting. But if I'm not in my heart, I will probably, and if I'm in my head, I'll probably be like, fucking idiot, what a douchebag, and react back. And I'll react versus actually just feeling what is the truth, because that's the power of the heart. When I feel my heart, when I drop into my body more than being in my reactive mind that thinks it's a separate self, and when I'm just in my heart more, I can actually feel how I'm one and connected with you too, and how we're not separate. It can dissolve the illusion of separation to be choosing to be more in the heart space. And sometimes it's hard to do that, because sometimes it's easy. The mind just is very quick to react. It just wants to react, and it wants to protect, and it wants to just live in this place of reaction and judgment and shit, you know? It just wants to react and judge. That's what it wants to do. And be a little, basically the mind is kind of like a little bitch in some ways. And it gets off on fighting and judgment and criticizing and feeling and acting separate. And so many humans say, I want peace, I want love, let's end war, let's stop all this. Meanwhile, they're creating little wars in their life every day. And they like fighting, they get off to it. Their ego and their operating system is jerking off to all the drama and to all the fighting and judging of other people. It's getting its way in such a pleasurable way. Like, you really get off on it. And I think it's important to own that you really fucking like it. It's really kinky. You like being a little bitch and calling people names and causing drama and having people react to you. Because when people react to you, you feel powerful. You know, because then it's fed, that program and that operating system, that machinery is being fed with the energy that it likes. It's sucking energy. It's sucking you dry from actually being a truly powerful human being. And I only say this because I know it, because I've been in that shit. I know it. I know it because I've been in it, you know? I'm not speaking from a lack of experience. Trust me, I've been in a relationship for 7 years, or almost 8 now, and I certainly know what it's like to choose to just want to fight. to notice that the operating system is set to fight. It just wants to fight. It doesn't want to dissolve into the truth of what we really are, because that's the deepest threat for the ego and the thought system. To actually be in love and to actually be in the heart and let it all dissolve, then there's no more you or me or I, and we recognize that who we thought we were never once even existed. And it's all just a dream, and the only thing that's real is love. It's the inevitable truth. You can't ever fucking escape. And most people would rather just stay protected, stay hard, disconnect, and live in their little prison as slaves to their own operating system. That's why my Heart Matters Zoom gatherings will be so sweet and gentle. And not this like dopamine hit inducing, like on social media, we just have all this dopamine reels and stuff. My Zoom call will be different. We will be sitting in the places that might be very uncomfortable. I mean, we're going to slow down and just be together and breathe with the discomfort that might be there from simply slowing down enough to just be together as humans and sharing matters of the heart. I know it sounds like a crazy concept, right? Why would we ever do that online? Wouldn't it be better if we just sat and judged each other? You know? Better to just sit and judge each other, right? Because that's what we all know how to do, right? So if you have heard what I've said, and if you feel any resonance with joining me in this actual, like a real live Zoom call, I invite you to find me on my Instagram, message me, and send me a message. Yeah, send me a message saying that you want to join the Zoom call or that you want to get all the details when it's ready. And it'll be in the beginning of June. And I look forward to sharing that space with whoever feels truly resonance. And if it's just me there, I will be there singing my songs of love. All right. Thank you for watching. That's all. I feel really relaxed now, and I'm going to take care of myself. So if you want any support in, or if you resonate at all with this energy that I bring, which is probably not at all like any other energy because we're all unique, right? And it's not, I'm not like a professional therapist or anything, but I can definitely support you in my unique, quirky, strange way to feel and be in your heart. And also, if you just want a space to talk and be heard and be seen without judgment, if you have some areas of your life where you're feeling a lot of shame, constriction, and blockages, where you feel like you're experiencing and going through something that you can't tell anyone about, but you want to talk about it and be heard and seen in a space that's non-judgmental and filled with compassion, know that I'm someone that actually does work with people in that way, meaning I am someone that listens and holds space for people to reveal their deepest, darkest secrets and to lighten the load of carrying that on their own, or to just simply have someone be there and say, hey, I hear you. It's something I've done a lot, actually, and it's been really supportive for people. Some people actually have come to me because they're like, I feel like I can't even talk about this with my therapist, so I want to talk to you because I know you understand. Well, it's specifically been around like certain taboo things, but yeah, I'm open to talking about anything really. So I'm available for that now. You can message me on Instagram to set up a time with me if that's something that resonates. Ooh, all right. Take care. Love yourself. Love your heart. Drop into your heart. Let's see. Extroverted of sorts. I'm an alpha with a gentle side when induced. I don't really get what that means. That's okay. Much love. Thank you for being here. Give this video a thumbs up if you want more live videos where I'm talking and stuff. And yeah, drop into that heart of yours and choose to let go of the mask and just connect to yourself. Be intimate with you, because the world needs more people that are in their heart with a spine. Just as important to have a spine and heart, not just heart, because then we're like, oh my goodness, you gotta have a spine too, okay? Because that's so divine. All right, bye. Give this video a thumbs up.